Good evening and happy Halloween. Tonight, we have a little treat for you. It is Fuel Esports versus Ithaca Blue. Tonight's game is Overwatch.
Overwatch indeed. It'll be a good match for sure. I am your robber, Newt. I'm joined by Donna Dragon today. How we feeling?
I'm feeling very, very well. Thank you for asking. I'm excited for the game tonight.
I'm
Very excited.
I'm super excited. Always a blast to see our Overwatch team, battle out on these different maps, seeing what new strategies they're gonna be bringing, how they're gonna be adapting to the meta changes. Speaking of our Overwatch team, let's take a look at those faces. Interesting looks today. There's a couple people in costume. We'll see Bugaboo rocking that Brigitte. Artemis is gonna be our other support. Thor and Spark rocking the Zeus, and then Scummy gonna be your tank.
And we know we've seen them play before in the past very, very well. They're all locked in, getting ready to go.
Well, wait a minute. I thought Bugaboo was Brig.
Oh,
Why is Zenyatta on my screen?
oh, we do have a Zenyatta.
In-
Oh, and look who's in the back there.
Oh, we got Killjoy in the back. That's a
Wrong game.
wrong game indeed. But again, if you've been following with our Fuel team, you might know some of the standings, but we'll still take a look at those. We'll see 2-2 right now. Ithaca Blue here going to be 3-2. So there's one game difference, but there is a 3 points, like 3 standing difference. So we'll see if Fuel can join the 3-2 group, or if they're gonna end up falling down into the 2-3 group.
And as we said in the past, like standings don't necessarily matter. You're only as good as your last game. So if Fuel can really bring the pain, bring the damage, they can come out on top and score a win tonight.
Yeah, and if you remember last match, last Friday, Fuel lost a very hard fight versus the team they reversed. I think it was 3-2. Every map super close.
It was a
So
hard fought.
it ended up being a reverse sweep as well, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully, they're hoping to bounce back after that one, seeing if they've ironed out the problems that ended up getting them swept. It was really a ball situation. But we'll have to take a short break before we get into our first map. Don't go anywhere. we are heading into the first map. Fuel and Ithaca going to be battling it out on Lijiang Night Market. Wuyang Ban Fort Ithaca Blue versus Fuel's Hazard Ban. Interesting as we're rolling out on standard comps. Very clear rush comp here for Ithaca, including the Symmetra for Spy. The Kiri Lucio going to have a little bit of an advantage against the Kiri Brig here for Fuel. We'll see if the Zarya and the Reaper can kind of get some magic happening. A little bit closer short sight line, so this pass will have a little bit more value than this Soj, and already the Kiri going to find that dink with the Kunai, get that first pick, and open up the board.
Well, you can already see a heavy exchange coming on the side of Ithaca, absolutely slaughtering Fuel Esports, only leaving Bugaboo left alive and taking this first point. However, it's just the point where the point's been secured, so this gives Fuel Esports the opportunity to really bring in an attack. You can see they're getting ready with a little bit of strategy. You got the Bridget coming in, make sure to bring the support. Shields going up. Heavy exchange, but Ack managed to take out the door. That is a dangerous casualty to start off this team fight. And already trying to go for it on the left side here. Some exchanges, and it's just tag after tag after tag. Not necessarily full damage, but Scummy taking a lot of damage just under the 50% mark. Going back to 50, their health slowly getting back. Little Spark getting shredded, but bringing back the health. And it's just tag after tag right now.
Yeah, I mean, versus this Junker Queen, versus this Symmetra, it's so hard to retake, so hard to get into these points, push forward. But already Spark finding that pick onto Sabai, which might be the opening pick that Fuel is needing. Reaper for the specialty. Kitsune Rush, though, comes out from Jamba Juice, and that might just be enough to wipe Fuel. It's going to be the fastest ult earn, ult build, and it's already picked one off. Does get traded off, though, is left. I mean, max charge here as the Kitsune response for Artemis is going to be good. I think Monk did pick off Bugaboo, so it's still dead even, but with Fuel getting control of the point, they're going to win this one. But they did have to give up 61%. Just due to how hard they were, how forward Ithaca was holding. Now they have this rampage. They're going to have a wall and a beat coming up soon. Fueled, though, has this overclock, and Door getting that opening pick on Spy, but traded out immediately by Left.
But the precision kills, but Left getting a double kill, Ank getting another one to Little Spark, and the Cassidy on the side of Ithaca is just shot after shot after shot. The precision is insane.
Yeah, Fuel gonna have to walk right on out of this. Just try to get a trade here is Scummy. Not be able to find too much. They're gonna be entering 2 fights left now for Fuel. Have this overclock, have this grab, have this rally. Definitely need to see these used effectively, but you're walking to a rampage, you're walking to the beat, which is just a perfect counter to this grab. And then that wall from the Sim, it's been slow cooking, but once that's here, it can completely split open the map, split open that point, and just make such an easy retake for the side of Ithaca, as now Fuel looking for something. Door going to try to get a fully charged rail into the overclock pop to try to get as much damage done as possible. Looking for that headshot, 100 charge, wanting to find one of those squishies, but doesn't seem to have the angle here. Scummy pushes aggressively with his beat, finds one. The beat and the rampage are using. Ank is just running over the backline. Beautiful cleanse there for Jamba Juice is going to keep Ankh alive as the rest of Fuel are going to fall quickly. A final nail in the coffin of a Kitsune Rush from Jamba Juice, and that's going to be 130% victory on this night market for Ithaca.
And that is only round 1.
It is only round 1, but it's a fast round 1. It was White's dominant. One fight win really for Fuel. Afterwards, everything kind of just fell apart. So, see, maybe going back to the drawing board, maybe changing up the comps. I think you just can't contend with the speed of this Kiri Lucio Junker Queen if you're playing this Brig. Brig just gets completely run over. So, I want to see a switch to maybe a Lucio. You could switch to... I don't think there's really much else as the Wuyong's out of the picture. I think the rest of Fuel's fine. This is a bit more open of a map. You know, you have those 2 lanes, you have Bridge and you have White Room. So we'll see if they can maybe make some magic happen here. Bracer switch for Spark over that Reaper, just wanting to harass the backline of Ithaca a little bit more. Make sure that this Cassidy doesn't go completely unpunished. See.
Well, we're English. We can find some type of opportunity in attack here. You can see a little bit of exchange coming out, especially that Tracer getting in those first little tags. But Fuel, what they need to do, I believe, is that they need to suppress. It's suppress, suppress, suppress.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it's just this comp from Ithaca runs you over so quickly, and Left just hitting these shots in the neutral is crucial. Bugaboo is back over to the Brig, just not that comfortable on the Lucio, but I think you have to maybe make that switch here. The Brig just, again, it's going to keep on getting run over. As soon as your shield's broken, you're free shooting for Left. You're not getting dove on, so you're not really having the value of protecting your backliner. I like the Baptiste switch. It has a little bit more self-survivability, a little bit more value in these rush comps. See, as ults are already building, but left does get traded off. It does pick off door with the silver bullet, so two. It's a 2-for-1 for the side of Ithaca. Now Artemis going to be in trouble as a fully charged team here for Sabai is just going to be tearing through the health bars of Fuel. There shouldn't be any trades here. A good cleanse there for the side of John Badus is going to make sure no one falls. 40% in ticking here for Ithaca. Fuel have not found the answer.
No, and unfortunately, I was talking to some of the players. Some of the players are not feeling at the most 100%, so that could be falling into the factor here.
Yeah, now
But
Kitsune's,
they can double through, they can push through it. I know they can.
yeah, double Kitsune here online, so to see a Kitsune trade, but you do have that high noon 4 left, which can kind of just make all of Fuel back off. Going to be used as a response, likely, to their own Kitsune, which means Ithaca can walk forward with their Kitsune, but Fuel can't because they're stuck into this Cassidy Deadeye, and it picks off 2. A beautiful usage of that Deadeye, some of the most value it's going to ever get. Thor does get a trade on the left, but it's not enough. I mean, you're still just getting run over. Rampage now on, as well as this wall and this beat. All you have 4 ults for Fuel, but none of them are really tide turners. They all kind of get countered by one or the other of Ithaca's. This Rampage and this beat combo we saw last time completely teared open the backline of Fuel, and I expect them just to go quick. I don't think Ithaca has to ever put any brakes on with this comp. Windows used around the wall, so it's not going to have any value as the grab is used, gets responded by a beat, but this just means that there's nothing left in the tank for Fuel, and they're just going to fall to this delayed fast push, this delayed fight for Ithaca. 100-0. This first map was domination.
Absolutely, and Ithaca Blue takes the second round.
They take the first map.
Oh, and that's just brutal.
Lijiang now. We'll see. Fuel gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Wuyang will be back open, which I think is really crucial for Fuel here, as it's kind of the main backline. They really like to play this Fury Wuyang or this Ana Wuyang. When you're off, Bugaboo plays that Wuyang, plays that Brig, but Brig just doesn't have as much of a place in the meta right now. We'll see if they can solve this. Maybe a Lucio ban as well could be on the cards, but have to see where they're gonna go. I believe we're heading towards I think it's Flashpoint or Escort, so we'll have to see. Oh, actually, I believe second map can actually be anything.
Yeah, it can flop around a little bit, but I'm wondering for this game too, because since it's gonna be more of a long term based match, I believe. So it can really go into more of those team fight comps, and you're not really fighting against time and over 1 point. You can spread out, you can think more tactfully. And like I said, I think what Fuel needs to do going into game 2 is they need to suppress, isolate, and annihilate.
Yeah, I think if you're Fuel, because of how Control just went, I don't think you want to take us to Flashpoint because you might just get run over on those tight points again. I think Escort, maybe push could be where you're kind of looking here. I think a Lucio ban might be good. I think you could even ban this Cass or this Jungle Queen. But we'll have to see as Fuel going back to the drawing board. But we've only one map into a best-of-5 series. Still could go anywhere.
It definitely could. Stay tuned. And here we are in game 2. We're in Toronto. Fuel Esports and Ithaca Blue will now be competing over a robot. That'll be fun.
Push is the map choice. We're going to be going to New Queen Street, what I believe Fuel like to think is their best map. They banned the Cassidy to protect ban one of their players, and then response ban is going to be the Diva. We'll see how much value as Woody is subbed in for DPS, as Dora as well going to be taking over the tank role. I know Scummy is not feeling fantastic right now.
No.
When your tank's not really able to talk, it's a bit of a difficulty, so we'll see if this is going to work out. I don't know. I haven't seen Dor play tank yet, but Dor has played support to quite great success, so we'll have to see. As the hazard here for Ankh, everything else similar, but you'll see the Tracer Sombra DPS versus Genji Sojourn, so a little bit more sustained damage from the side of Ithaca, less full burst for sure, as it's the exact same support line, and already Spark gonna get that first trade, but Kiri trade for Jamba Juice. Spark again picking off a second one, so these trades are really working out so far. Has just be able to get onto the backline so much easier, as well Fuel on more of a comfort backline here. They really love this Kiri Wuyong, so let's see.
And Woody on the Sombra. Last time I saw her on this character, she was a thorn in their side. So let's see if we can get a repeat of that against Ithaca here.
Jamba Juice and Subai gonna pick off both DPS of Fuel to instantly start this fight, as Artemis, though, getting a good trade, but does fall. Those trades, though, are good. It means they don't have as much time to push the cart. The Hazard versus Winston matchup here on New Queens is quite commonly favored towards the Hazard. We'll have to see. As Left actually switched over to the Tracer to try to contest with Spark. Makes more sense. It's not really easy to play the Genji into this Tracer Sombra front line. So we'll see how much value this Tracer duel ends up happening. Left does win the first one of the Tracer duels. It means that this fight already going to be in Ithaca's favors. The bots moving towards taking over the meterage. Be getting the lead here is Ithaca as they use a Kitsune Fuel. They're going to try to kite this out, but Bugaboo gets caught by a beautifully placed wall from Ankh. Means Eric the Fall is now hunting. They're spy checking, trying to find Woody. Spots the Sombra. Shooting the shotgun, but doesn't quite get it, as it might actually be a little bit overextended here. Is Ankh. Woody going to pick off that low health target of Sabai. Fuel able to bounce back, fight in. Another spy check here. The problem with the Sombra is you're going to be spotted, but are still able to be invisible. Left, yet again winning the duel. But
getting picked up by Delphi.
Yeah, a great trade there for Fuel.
And Woody getting a kill onto Ankh with some amazing assists. Winston and Woody going in to take out a third. Hopefully pick them up, but just that temporary health is keeping them alive.
Yeah. Subai, though, does pick off Dor, as well as Jamba Juice picking off Artemis, so it means Fuel probably just going to have to take a quick reset here, as both your tank and your main source of healing are gone. So don't want to give up too many late staggers. Woody's going to fall, but if no one else gets staggered, it's still okay. I think I hear is going to be able to get this checkpoint, as for Fuel, it's a good sign that they stopped the checkpoint earlier, which means we'll have to take a little time. Never mind, they didn't stop the checkpoint, as you'll see this bot's just going to keep marching forward. 67 meters now. He is Dor looking for a dive here with the Winston. Comes into a plant post, but does still get a successful EMP from Woody. Picks off 3 of them. So quick fight for Fuel. They want to get these late staggers, these late picks. See Dor chasing Ankh here. Let's get the hack out is Woody. As Left just running away, trying to live. Ankh gets TP Suzu'd by Jamba Juice, means they'll be able to live. Pulse Bomb goes wide from Little Spark. This means another thing invested just into this late fight. Woody not going to find anything from this off angle. Fuel have control of the bot. They're going to keep walking this forward as the Wuyong ult used by Savia's onto the Tracer to try to get something done, but actually just falls. Left, though, does pick off Bugaboo in the meantime. So trade for the Wuyongs, but Jamba Juice falling as well, which means there is no healing left alive for the side of Ithaca, which means they're going to slowly bleed away to the DPS as Artemis and Woody picking off the Sabayan Left. It's just the Hazard left alive, going to be staggered out late as Woody won't actually be able to get that pick. Neither will Spark. So Hazard, once again, living on 1 HP, but Fuel, the bot's in their control now.
And now, as long as they can keep this up, they can keep Ithaca at bay. All they got to do is tie and just get a little bit more distance. But we can see a really good recall to get into the back line here. Little Spark might be able to get a kill here. Just keep hitting, but the Dor manages to get the kill. Ankh manages to take out Dor, though. That's a trade. Little Spark on barely any health in a dream. but it's just trades left, right, and center. Woody getting another trade on Savas, and it is just brutal, but Fuel still holding that bot and just making sure Woody manages to take out Ankh with barely any health to their name.
Impeccable assassinations there from Woody. Going to get off 2 there as well. The pick onto Savies while getting shot is just able to get out and then also pick up Ankh on the exit. And the important part is that Ithaca started that with an early Kitsune. Fuel kited it out. They did lose their tank, but they just got those trades. And now they have Kitsune and Wuyong ult as Bugaboo uses it aggressively, but does fall to a headshot from Zubai. See, the rest of Fuel can make something happen left on Artemis, but the cleanse will... Artemis is just alive just that little bit longer as now the Tracer duel. Spark looking to win this, but left picked up that health pack. Gonna get full health yet again, get those blinks back. Almost a 1 clip here for Spark. Recall in. These are the Tracer duels. Either one really winning them out. It's just peppering, stopping them from getting onto their backline, as the Primal Rage was used from door just to survive. Haven't found any of those juggles yet, so no real value from his ult other than just survival. Left missing that pulse bomb. I mean, Spark now is an opening, and Woody has an EMP online.
You might see it come out to play if they can get it. EMP goes out, and now Ithaca just gets slaughtered.
The clean wipe, a 3-man EMP as well as left getting picked off before the fight. So now Fuel, they're going to be able to take this lead back for the first time off of Ithaca. I mean, these fights, once the ults are in play, really Fuel's comp's been shining. Ankh now onto the Winston to try to match this backline pressure that Door has had. Sabai left back over to the Genji, just hasn't really figured out what hero works yet. See, Jamba Juice, Woody does fall to Jamba Juice in the neutral. Means Fuel won't be able to get too much more meterage, but you get 90, you just need to make sure not to get these late staggers, these late trades. Left looking for something. Spark might be in trouble, but I feel like the rest of Fuel's gonna live here. Ankh did pick off Spark.
Yeah, but Spark being able to take it, he's still got an entire team of DPS and a tank to deal with, but Sabai manages to take out Bugaboo, only leaving Delphi, the Door, and Woody left to hold the line. But is it going to be enough? As you can see, the bot is making its way back to Ithaca's Amazon package. All they need to do is stop them here.
Yeah, forward spawns are no longer on for Fuel. In fact, Ithaca's likely going to be able to get them soon as this crosses this halfway point. Thor, though, and Spark getting a good dive on the backline. And the Wuyong ult, the Tidal Blast, just didn't find anything for Ithaca, as the rest just no trades. It looks like Bugaboo may have been in trouble, but a beautiful Suzu there from Artemis is going to keep him alive, as the rest of Fuel getting these late trades. Subai super staggered there.
Subai, goodbye.
Big fight win for Fuel. Honestly, just a fantastic dive from the Tracer. I imagine the Sombra was back there as well as the Winston. And the dive from Ithaca just wasn't there. They used the Tidal Blast trying to get onto the backline, but beautifully kited out from Fuel. Left goes in, gets hacked up, has to use that deflect, and just gets one shot through the deflect. Winston zaps, don't care about it, as Woody looking for a manual hack, looking for some sort of burst here. Dive is back in for Door. Sabai did pick off Little Spark as the Kitsune comes in, but Fuel, you can just kite this out.
Honestly, yeah, they just have to kite this out. They're at 99 meters, 2 minutes left on the clock, minute 59. All they need to do is hold, but Jamba Juice, Sabai, and Sabai again managed to get a really good triple trade out, and now putting on, now it's a battle of the Wintons.
But if you're Fuel, you don't mind. They used 3 ults just to get a fight win that was kind of, honestly, wasn't even a necessity.
So is it kind of Pyrrhic?
It's fine for Fuel, right? You're coming into about a minute and a half left, and the enemy team has no ults. They'll have a Dragon Blade, and Savies will eventually get one of these beats online, but you have a Kitsune Rush, you'll have an EMP, which is pretty much an insta-fight win. You have that Primal as well, which means Door can just contest this point forever. Has to use it now, though, as they get put dangerously low, trying to juggle the Winston off the map, but does not find that. But Artemis, in the meantime, picks off Sabai.
But the Door's holding their own. They're preventing Ithaca from taking any ground.
That's the point of this Primal Rage. Left, though, pick off Woody, trying to find something, trying to get that ult charge to burn, to build up that EMP. Artemis did end up investing the Kitsune Rush as well, so Fuel, they just want to finish this one strong. Bot is on their side of the field. They have this EMP, they have a Pulse Bomb, they'll have a Tidal Blast, but Savies will have this beat, and Left has this Blade, picks off one already. Means this Tidal Blast might not actually come online in this fight. Beat is here, Sabai gets one, but a Door with a beautiful trade onto Jamba Juice is crucial. Means Ithaca just can't push as far aggressively as they wish they could. They will have two ultimates for this fight. Both supports will have ult. But you have a Tidal Blast, you have this EMP for Woody. It's all eyes on Woody for this fight if you're Fuel.
So if Woody can pull off the EMP of the century, this could really close the door on Ithaca.
100%. It could be an instant fight win, and Ithaca just wanted the touch. They're going to be trying to spy check, catch out Woody before anything can happen. But a walk in, EMP finds 3, but the beat is in response. Did not catch the Lucio, but already picked one off beforehand. Does get traded out left, picks off Bugaboo as well. And Jomadus, so the EMP just doesn't find the value because the beat was there. The beat, perfect response for that EMP, as if you don't catch the Lucio, they have to touch. They do get on the point in time, as now Fuel, they are on last fight territory. They have a Pulse Bomb, they have a Tidal Blast, but they're fighting into a Kitsune and a Primal Rage.
They need to stop them here.
Woody picking off left is crucial here, though, as this Tidal Blast for Bugaboo. Spark as well onto Sabies. It's just the Primal Rage and this Kitsune, but they're just doing so much more damage. Fuel here. The Winston just instantly bursted down. Jumbajuice hasn't used this Kitsune, holding it because they weren't actually there in time yet. They will Kitsune to get the touch, but Fuel, they're going to be able to stop it just in time. It was so close to being Ithaca's comeback, but Fuel taking second map in a hard-fought victory. Woody showing up on the Sombra. A good bounce back after a rough first map.
And do you know what that means, my friend Robert Newt?
What does that mean?
We got ourselves a game.
We do indeed. We have a game on our hands. Woody, again, finding so much value on this Sombra. The tank switch, you know, just the fact that your tank's able to communicate ends up being a big difference maker. Door showing some real prowess on this Winston pick, as well as Spark winning the Tracer duel for most of it. You know, lost 1 or 2, but afterwards just had more value overall, forced the switch back to the Genji, and then Artemis winning that Kiri duel as well as the Wuyong for Bugaboo. So we'll see what Ithaca is going to respond. They're now going to go to a map that they're more comfortable with, as Fuel went to the one that they want to go to, and we'll see what they end up banning. But
Fuel just needs to keep the snowball going.
They do indeed. We'll have to wait for that map. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 9th week of the Fuel Esports Weekly Update. Playoff season is right around the corner, so let's talk about what's coming up as we roll into November. As for what's happened this week, we held our Monday Night Chess Night last night in the FSU Clubs room. Despite the smaller venue, you guys still brought the energy, and we hope you enjoyed. As for Fuel Esports competition, teams are finally starting to wrap up the regular season, including Fuel Esports Call of Duty, who qualified for the NECC Varsity Premier Playoffs. They'll be playing starting next week for their spot in the Varsity Super Conference next season. We wish them the best of luck. To see all of our daily score reports, make sure you follow us at FanshawFuel on all socials. And if you don't ever want to miss a broadcast, find us at twitch.tv/FanshawFuel or on Rogers TV on channel 13. As for what's coming up this week, we'll be back with another Monday Night Game Night for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Melee on November 3rd. You can join us in Four-Wall Hall at 6 p.m. for friendlies before the official bracket begins at 7. We're also counting the days until our Battle of the Forest City Charity Land with Western Esports and Gaming Association. You can donate to the cause at fsu.ca/extralife and make sure you attend the live show in Four-Wall Hall on November 8th. That's all for this week. Follow us at FanshawFuel so you don't miss any weekly updates, and we'll be back with another one next Tuesday.
So we're here for map 3. First off, amazing predictions right before we started the cast. That's insane, Noob.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen this team play a couple times. Woody's got a couple character specializations, so the May, not that too much surprising after the Sombra's gone. Kiri banned for Fuel, which means they're going to be playing the Ana comp. Ana Zen's interesting. I was expecting the Ana Wuyong. Interesting. You know, I guess Bugaboo just wanted to, you know, play the character they're cosplaying as, right?
Yeah, that's fair. But Widowspark going Widowmaker, the door swapping off of the Death Hamster, going for somebody else, but Ankh running the Death Hamster. The Murder Hamster on Junkertown is very unique. First Blood, though, going to Delphi.
It's not bad because you just have these abilities to get onto these verticalities. Thor, though, over onto the Sigma. Going to have a lot of value just in these neutral fights, stopping the Widowmaker of Left. And I'm interested to see how much value Left can get because they won't really have much contention. The best thing that Fuel has for it is, you know, is a Sojourn, which just doesn't win these long-range duels as much. And, you know, maybe some May shots, as well as Subai over to the Venture, so able to dive the backline. But the backline of Fuel is quite easily, you know, not easily dived, especially since they've now switched over to the Brig. Jamba Juice, though, does pick off Thor, which means the tank already gone. Good anti-nade, I believe, was what ended up sealing that deal. Jamba Juice as well. Spark. Now, the rest of Fuel having to back off. You get it past this first corner, but they're stuck under this bridge now. It's a hard place to retake, especially against this ball, against this Widow Left, almost at those walls. But that's an ultimate that's not really, it's more supportive, but still finding value just with the damage, but hasn't found these crucial picks yet with the Widowmaker. Just kind of, this point especially is where Widow can shine. It really has these free sight angles. We'll see if they can start to find these headshots. Ups the walls. You still have to be a little bit more careful when they swing out. The grapples away from the Winston dive. The door switches over, and Spark over to the Genji. Said, you know what? I'm not gonna take this long-range duel. I'm just gonna dive you. The Left does find Artemis jump in. This is the grapple to try to get that hook shot, but the rest of Fuel's already fallen.
Yeah, and it's just not good. And the Left just mopping up Bugaboo with that final burst of the machine gun.
Fuel definitely has to find something here, but they do have 3 ultimates to 4. See how much value this Blizzard can get. Double Nano, but the Nano Monkey is going to have a more value than, say, the Nano Ball. We'll see, or even the Nano Genji, right? You have so many Nano targets. Mines, though, now for Ankh could seal the deal. See, as the Nano already comes out onto the door, and it's already a pick on the Left. A good dive onto the Widowmaker. Wuyong ult, though, is going to cause door to fall. But the ball rolls in, knocks down. Blue does use the rally to keep backline alive. Pulls off Sabai. Now there's a Nano on a hamster. And that's not a fun thing if you're the backline of Fuel. Bugaboo's already going to fall. Artemis trying to fight their way out of this. Just going to start healing up their team instead. But, and this ball is just so much value. Spark did get a trade onto Jamba Juice, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, as George going to walk right back in and fall yet again.
Yeah, unfortunately, with just the onslaught of the hamster as well as Left on the Widowmaker, there is just not a lot of ground that Fuel can gain, especially when you have a lot of territorial suppression coming in on the side of Ithaca. But you do have ults being built. You have Primal Rage for the door. You have Maze ult ready on the side of Woody. Little Spark 83, Delphi 43, Bugaboo 28. But you also have ults on the side of Ithaca as well, and they just need to win this fight. You already see Whittlespark taking 2, Woody taking 1, Delphi taking another, and already we can see a tide turn as the ball needs to roll out and retreat.
Fuel gonna get this cap likely. I mean, Ankh's gonna try to stall, but the rest of the team won't be here yet. Left's gonna switch over to the Freya. Wants a little bit more damage just on these tanks, on these front lines. A little more sustained damage, especially. Their poke comp is now quite nice with the Wuyong Freya. These bolts can be deadly. Yeah, I mean, really what happened there was a pick onto Subai, who went a little bit too aggressive, and then Woody drops the Blizzard, which just means the rest of Fuel capitalize, get those picks. They're just going to easily win that fight. The ultimates are now in Ithaca's favor. You're gonna have a Nano Blade coming up soon. Little Spark has to get value out of this. But it's really hard to push around this corner as the mines come out for Ankh. Already pick off Woody. Door as well. Gonna fall to a double bolt. By dashing up, just trying to stay alive. Every one of Fuel is going to fall. They just need to not use any ultimates. Exactly what they do. They'll have 3 ultimates coming up, but they're fighting into a Tidal Blast and a Tectonic Shock. That Nano and Nano Boost and that Bola shot are close behind.
Ow, you're just getting packed up with arrows. Where is this ball?
A little bit of a Spider-Man spot. Just going to be hanging up, looking for a drop-down slam. Which means they now have cooldowns to be able to get out in case they do get stunned up, slept, or anything. Does get stopped by just a little bit of a ramp, using the ice block as a ramp, actually.
Oh my god.
To just get onto Woody there. Means Woody's going to fall as well to the bolts of left. But Spark did get the nano and picks off 2 in the back line. Spy, though, trades off doors. We'll see if it's going to be enough. Picks. Now the Tectonic shot out for Sabai. But they're just going to fall to a brig with the rally, as well as those shurikens coming out from Spark. The Nano Blade found the value it needed to, but that was 2-3 ults used for the side of Fuel, as now Door switches over to the D.Va, just not figuring out what character to play here. D.Va able to tank these poke a little bit more, especially since we're heading to more of a closed area. There's not as many open dive angles. Honk to be open on this site. He is going to get slowed up. Maybe 3-step soon. It gets nanoed as Spark looking for something, but this is just a ball rolling around point with a nano boost doing so much damage. Fuel gonna fall short just before tapping the second point push.
See, what are you even supposed to do when you get punched by a hamster? There's nothing really much you can do.
And Door, though, a great trade onto left, which means Fuel's next contest will be a little bit easier as they will have this final fight territory here, seeing if they can get this touch. Going to be fighting out this ball on this top. Who's going to win that fight dry, but it's not going to be like an action. It's just going to be poking out, stopping each other.
It's
16
attrition.
seconds on the clock. All 5 members of both teams are going to be here now, but the ball dive from Onk is good. Artemis, though, will be able to survive as well as Woody, so no value outside of just stalling. Spark gets that first touch. He's going to keep the point contested. Now Fuel looking for these picks. They're going to have a bomb soon. They're going to have a blizzard soon and a rally. And they're fighting into no ults for the side of Ithaca, so this fight should be their favor. A slept-up hamster in the back line is going to be a good start here, as they're just looking, but left finds Artemis in the neutral. The blizzard comes out. Spy going to fall. It's just a 1-for-1 trade right now. You need more out of those blizzards. The bullets coming out from left is going to eventually fall to Spark. Gets extremely low, but actually left picked it off the door. Bit of an immovable object on this point here. Ball is able to stall for a while, but I think it's just going to be ult fed into Fuel, as they are going to cap this second point. They have 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining to cap third. This is the hardest point to cap, I think, on the map outside of early first point. You either get held on first or you get held on third. They're going to be held on second for as long as they were here. But they do have 3 ultimates. This Nano Blade for Spark has to be big, as Onk switches over to the Zarya to be able to contest this ground more. We'll see, as all eyes are just going to be on Spark here with this Nano Blade for sure.
All eyes on Spark, and I believe he has faith, but we also do have ults for the Door and Delphi. So as long as they can just bring the line and hold it, they can fight. Let's see how it goes. The first team fight is beginning.
Spark pulls out the blade, trying to find something here. As
that's 1.
Slices and dices. Jamba Juice dead, but
that's 2.
Sabai as well, but is going to fall in the end.
Denied.
But that's 2, and the rest of Fuel is going to be able to clean up, as they were forced to look back towards the Nano Blade and Genji, and that meant that Woody can clean up. Door getting that late pick on the Savies as well means they're going to march themselves even closer to this point. They now just have a bomb, and they're fighting into a Nano and a Tectonic Shock, so it's not going to be the easiest of fights. A good wall to cut off the angle, but that's a Nano Zarya on point. Not going to pick off Bugaboo, as the Tectonic Shock from Subai can make something, but didn't get it off in time. Gets picked off before they can use the ult, as Spark is finding so many trades here. 3 picks in this last fight for Spark. Is still alive and kicking. Finally falls to Ank, but it's just Door versus Ank, and Door's going to win that. Fuel full capping the last possible moment.
And that means if Ithaca wants to win this out, they need to have a flawless attack.
They have to bring us, they have to get full cap as well, and then bring us to those OT. We'll see, though.
Look at the faces. They are happy.
I think Spark, a standout player. They're switching off of the sniper duel onto the Genji, getting those beautiful Nano Blades. And in that last fight, with dry abilities, just picks off 3. And really, Sabai just fell in the neutral, needed to get that Tectonic Shock, because that was the fight winner. That was what Ithaca was planning on doing. They were using the Nano on the Zarya to get the touch, get those cooldowns burned, and then they were going to clean up with the Tectonic Shock, that Venture ult, but they just didn't pull it in time. They fell early, and that means that Ithaca is not going to be able to stop Fuel on their full cap. We'll see if they have a different answer for attack here. I think they're just gonna, yeah, I think they have to match
Oh, they have
something.
to match the energy. I think if they can try to bleed out as much time on this first point, that can be extremely beneficial. We can also see, like, I'm very, very surprised with the composition for Ithaca's attack. Instead of ball, they're doing Malga.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they're
wait,
switching
that's not
the
Malga.
hazard. They're going over
Oh,
to
it's
the hazard.
Hazard.
Yeah, they picked it last time. It's not bad for this first point, as they just want to get out of the point, out of the doors, because the spawn hold can kind of happen. You'll see Fuel going back over to this Sigma comp, back to the Sojourn, but they're gonna be versus the Freya and the Genji. A wall just to bleed time because Fuel want to kill as much time as possible. Arc needs to find something of value from this Sojourn now, as they were having so much value on the Genji, but switching off to take this Fuel, as you just kind of need that range on this first point. Finds that body shot with the first railgun. Doesn't find much more, and it looks like Ank might actually be in trouble. Gets anti-nated up, has to use that spike guard to keep themselves alive. Does live in the end. Left wants to look for a dive. You can see it. Arc, another rail, gonna go wide.
Yeah, but Woody manages to get the headshot on the left. Sabai manages to take out Little Spark. That's a trade. 1-for-1 so far. Ankh and Sabai take one, but the door takes out Sabai. Holding his own, manages to bleed out a lot of health. Holding his own for the rest of the team of Fuel to make it here. Woody there with the assist. And it's just Ankh is in trouble here, but the health is just not going well. But they do finally manage to take out Ankh.
A beautiful shield placement there from Thor, knowing that they weren't really in trouble, so they used the shield to cut off the healing of the Ana, which means they're going to be able to take this fight. But because of how close that Ithaca spawns, these trades are deadly for Fuel. They're going to end up losing fight. They're going to have to give up meterage, as now already Ithaca has rounded this first corner as they got those trades. They picked off the backline. Picking off Bugaboo especially was crucial. Seeing what they're going to be able to do here. This fight could, if Fuel can find their footing here, they're back over to the D.Va, sticking everything else. They have a nano boost here for Artemis, as well as a blizzard coming up. Fighting into a nano and a rally, though, for the side of Jamba Juice and Savies. So we'll see what can happen, as they're going to pick off left. Savies going to pick off Spark, so both DPS traded out. Artemis picking off Subai, though. Means Woody's going to be the last DPS alive and be able to hold this point deep. But again, these trades are not great for Fuel. You want to win these fights cleanly. They should be able to stabilize. Yeah, they lose one member there. They're going to lose Spark. It's okay, as the Sojourn will be able to get back pretty quickly here. So nothing really may lost. The bullet shot up for Subai, as well as 4 ultimates in the pocket of Ithaca. Fuel only having the 2, but will get that rally eventually. This D.Va, though, the D.Va bomb really just used to keep yourself on point. Ult looking for Artemis, but doesn't find it seems. Thor holding this high ground with this D.Va, delivering the defense matrix to block as much damage as possible. Rally up for Jamba Juice. Isn't quite up for Bugaboo, as the early blizzard going to be burned for Woody just to burn time. That means Ankh gets caught just at the end of it, or somehow kept alive through this all.
And they're still holding it. The time is bleeding. It's a minute 17 and decreasing. As long as they can keep pushing the backwards, they just need to maintain a front line advantage.
Yeah, and they do exactly that. Picking off Ankh so crucial, but now 5 ults to 4. The Nano Blade coming out for left. See if they can have the same value that Spark had, but a beautiful rally from Bugaboo, but it does still pick off 2. Good dash afterwards, as well as that downpour. It's an expensive fight for Ithaca, but they have to cap this first point. Gonna be 3 ults invested. Fuel using 2 though, so it's not bad. You're gonna win this fight. You're gonna be able to cap this first point with 40 seconds, which means you're gonna have 3 shy above 3 minutes. Cap second here. Fuel got stuck here quite a while. Just capped at that very last moment. See if Ithaca can break through a little bit quicker, as they have this Ola shot and they have this rally. This overclock from Spark, though, could definitely spell disaster.
We'll have to see what happens. They are just stretching and slowly making their way. But Fuel is here, and they are engaging as of right now. The exchanges are going out. It's just a close quarters battle.
The kite, though, from the side of Ithaca is so good. They instantly kite into the room, kite off LOS for Spark's ult, and then Spy on the side gets a beautiful bola, picks off 2, as well as the final ult to pick off Artemis there. It's just Door left alive, and the D.Va is not going to be able to survive forever. Will just end up falling. It's Fuel. They're going to lose this second point in about 1 fight. They might have a touch, but I think It's a dominant second point push for the side of Ithaca. Looks like they are going to just gonna play for third point here. They're just gonna stabilize. Not looking to touch. It's just not an advantageous fight.
No,
They
it's
have
not.
2 ultimates online. This rally's still up for Jamba Juice. See if that can find much value. But there's no real dive for Fuel, so it's not like you're rallying to stop a dive. You're more going to be aggressive rallying in this comp. As this Blizzard from Woody, it's picked off one. He just needs to pick off one player. Spy falling 13 HP. Dora going to be able to pick that up with the boosters as the rally does come out. It's going to be kited out. Nothing really coming from that. He does get a beautiful headshot there with the Icicle to pick off Savies. Good anti-nade as well from Artemis to pick off the rest of Ithaca. These late trades, you will not able to aggress to pick off the Ana there, or the Brig there. Just have to back off of what he does pick off the Brig eventually. Donk in the corner now, trying to find something, but might just be in trouble. Gets walled off, but walls off Woody themselves. Be kept alive. Nano Boost now online for Savies, as well as the Blade coming up for left.
And as long as Fuel can at least hold this, which they seem to be, they just need, again, bleed up the time, bleed up the time. That's all they got to do.
Yeah, but 5 ults up for Ithaca. So if they do this right, they only need to use maybe 2, 3. Early downpour is just going to get stopped by... Never mind, if I'm stopped by the defense major, they found the angle onto Artemis. Does pick off Subai in the meantime, so it's a 1-for-1 trade, but the Ana trade is so much more important as the Nano Blade does come out, picks off 2, likely going to pick off the 3rd. Chasing door to the spawn door is left.
But left, being very, very low on health, barely scrapes by.
Barely indeed. Is going to be able to survive though. Ithaca around this first bend. They're going to be hoping to push. Sleep Dart goes in for Artemis, misses. The Nano onto the Diva. Spawned by a rally from Jamba Juice, finally deciding to use that cooldown. Does get slept up though, so this Nano's just not going to find the value that they need from it. As this dive onto Savies, Rig and the Ana partners together, just healing each other permanently. The Bug did pick off left in the meantime. Woody looking for a wall to try to cut off time, off vision. But he's going to fall to Jamba Juice's whip shot. Thor uses this bomb to get back into the mech. Be able to recontest team of Fuel down these ults. Woody back up. We'll have this Blizzard needs to find value from it, as well as Spark having this overclock. Fighting into a downpour though, and you're already demeched.
Yeah, and that's not good. This is not looking good for Fuel Esports right now. They are at 55 seconds. They need to find a solution now. They need to lock down the front line.
Woody having to play a little bit of a pseudo tank, does lock down point with that Blizzard, but it's only going to find one. Is left, cleans up. He's picked with the dashes. Woody finds a second trade, but it's just Spark left alive. No one really here to touch in the meantime, as Ithaca are going to full cap with time, which means they will have an extra 30 seconds for this overtime push.
But 30 seconds can usually be to your benefit or to your downfall.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this 30 seconds just gives them that extra fight. Means they don't have to win. They have 3 fights instead of 2 on these first points, especially if they take that first fight fast. So we'll see how they're going to do on their defense here. They had a better first point defense, I think. They stopped Fuel earlier than Fuel stopped Ithaca, so I think you'll definitely have to find an answer here. That I don't think you roll out on the Sigma. I think you stick to the Diva is what's been working. I think Onk might stick to the ball, actually. We'll have to see. Instead, going for the Zarya. They're going to look for a close hold, I imagine. I think Spark should go over to the Genji, try to match left here. The problem is then you're leaving the Freya uncontested, except for the Genji dive. It's so hard for Fuel.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but we'll have to see what happens. We can see at least a similar composition from the side of Fuel Esports. Ithaca is changing up just a tad.
Pause is coming in.
Ooh,
Seems like the custom game is bugged yet again. For some reason, the perks round 3 just do not work for Fuel. Very weird. When you go to OT, you're supposed to get the 3rd perk. You're supposed to get all perks auto-unlocked. But for some reason on this map, specifically on this map, it just isn't working.
Blame Blizzard?
Yeah, I guess so. It's something with the workshop code that's being used by NECC, but it's A-okay. Seems like they're just going to play without those perks. It means it's going to be right back to those first couple fights to see how it's going to be played. No, what? players here, you know, they're going to be a little bit weaker, especially that Genji, especially that Freya. Not going to be as valuable without these perks, as well as Diva. Diva falls. Diva gets so much value from these perks, so we'll see what they do, but they're just going to play it out with no perks. See if Duel can break this close defense for the side of Ithaca. They're sticking to that Diva. They're going to go with the double long range, that May Sojourn here for Spark Woody, and they're fighting into the Freya Genji yet again.
And for the overtime, they have to just get it all the way to the end, right? Or is it just like round one?
So as much as they push, next team just has to push past them.
Okay.
So it's based off where you stop pushing. So for here, they're trying to get as much meterage as possible. Onk, forced to use that double bubble early, might fall, but gets pumped full of healing by their team, is going to kept alive, and in fact, Spark's going to get traded out first, as well as Artemis. So Fuel, they're going to have to quickly reset. They should be able to get one more fight in here, but it's going to be a touch fight, especially if they get staggered out, is what Ithaca's going to look to do. They do get around this first bridge where they got stopped last time. Spark having to switch over to the Tracer just to get this touch. Triple blink recall. Not what you want to invest just for a touch, but it's going to get marked out. Touching at 3 seconds to trigger overtime is a little bit earlier than they wanted to, but it means Door is over here now on the Zarya, but already Woody picked off by the Genji of left. I mean, this high ground, low ground play just under this bridge is so hard inside of Fuel. Has no energy. Zarya has to bubble back to keep the backline alive. Does save Artemis there. The Bola shot, it's built so quickly. First one, fight created left, getting another pick here. Now, Onk, Spy, all members of Ithaca are just holding Fuel, rolling them over. They are going to stop Fuel 46.8 meters into this first point. You just have to push better.
And Ithaca has 1 minute and 30 seconds just to push 46 meters.
Yeah, so you saw there, Fuel really only got 1.5 fights, right? They had to do a touch. They had one fight and a touch. Here, you'll see Ithaca should get 2 full fights and then maybe a desperation touch.
Oh, spaghetti-o.
So they'll have a little bit of an advantage, but again, if they get these close holds, if they get these good fights for Fuel, you're going to have to hold at the same spot because you can't really spawn hold here and then get back in time to touch elsewhere. So we'll see what they end up doing as, yeah, I think definitely have to solve this. I think you need to match this Genji. He's been running over your backline. Just see what the technique to match said Genji, as well as the Freya has just kind of been uncontested for a while now. The Zarya duels, I think they're just going to stick. Zarya counters out the Diva, so I think you're just going to see Door matching that. We'll have to see.
And well, you can see Little Spark swapping over to the Cassidy. Woody still staying on the May. Bugaboo sticking with the Bridget. It's, again, little more on like the stable side.
An interesting comp switch here, actually. Switching over to the Baptiste rig. More of a rush comp, more condensed healing, right? Healing in like a circle, can kind of group up more as well with the Cassidy. So they're playing in close range. They are not wanting to take these range duels. They want to fight from close. Cassidy here to stop left from running over the back line, able to get that flashbang on the back. We'll have to see if they can stop Ithaca in time or not, or if Ithaca's just be able to walk it through. They are going to get under this first bridge past here, so it's going to be one fight territory for Fuel. They have to win all fights from here on out, or else they will end up getting capped on. You know, Spark shooting with the 6-shooter with the Peacemaker.
Trying to win a strike. Genji coming in with melee.
Does use the deflect. Bolt's coming out, which means Woody having to fall so low will end up falling. But Door finds 2 picks in the meantime as they were focused on Woody. Gets kept alive from the healing from Artemis. And Door, yeah, again, just walking over the front line of Ithaca. So 1 fight down. Fuel, they have 1 more and then a touch. And you see Onk switching over to the Winston. They want to dive this back line as they're quite susceptible. I mean, as soon as that ult is, or as soon as that immortality is used from Artemis, so easy to pick off, but Onk just goes way too fast, way too aggressive, just gets instantly blown up, and now we'll just need to not get traded. They just have to play this one slow. The immortality does already get used, the lamp falls, the left falls as well. Spark, Woody is going to get traded out. We'll have to switch to some sort of character to get back to point quickly. Not be able to stick to this. Not be able to stick on May, I don't think.
Well, now it's the death charge. They won both the team fights. Now there's the death charge. Fuel wins this. That's game.
Woody just going to do the slow walk as the May. They almost have this have this Blizzard. I think that might be too much. 1-for-1 trades come out, but the trade on the Bugaboo is so much more crucial. That's healing Dawn, but you have a Graviton on point. It finds one. The door is going to fall as the Fuel. The High Noon comes out for Spark, doesn't find anything. Sleep comes out as well. Now you have a Winston with a Nano Boost running in, as well as the Brig with Rally. Fuel, they almost had the defense, but they are going to fall in overtime. Ithaca going to take a 2-1 lead in the series. They take Junkertown in overtime.
Very, very unfortunate, but hard-fought victory for the side of Ithaca. But Fuel Esports still has one more opportunity.
They do. They are on death's door now, but they can still take this one back, as it is now officially their map pick. See,
This hamster play was insane.
their map pick, their bans. They can take out whatever they think is the problem.
And
Go to a map they're confident on. I know Junkertown is not a map they love, but of the escort maps, it might be their best. So we'll see. Probably going to take us to Hybrid, if I'd imagine, or Flashpoint. Those are the 2 map options available. So we'll have to see. Don't go anywhere. Fuel, they're on the death's door, but they can make this one happen.
Stay tuned. And Woody gets somber again.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom.
right into this first fight here on Suravasa. Fuel banning the Lucio, which makes a lot of sense as they're going to be fighting into this rush comp. You saw the control comp. They're playing this JQ comp. They're just going to play the Kiri Wuyong variation is left, already getting that first pick with the Cassidy. But Artemis does trade out, so Woody onto the Sombra, no longer been banned out. Ithaca did end up banning the Tracer away from Spark. Didn't want to take the Tracer duel. Door, though, just going to stick to this Zarya, just wants to take this rush duel. These fights are so quick. Because it's Flashpoint, this point is going to go quick. Or 15%. Have kept 3 of these to win the map, so we'll see as the ults are going to be slightly in favor of Ithaca for support, but everything else, Woody, though, nowhere really near that EMP as they did fall really quickly into the last fight. But the Zarya, because Onk just switched, Dor is going to have a grab, almost 90% already to it. A very fast grab being built up here. Going to find that pick, which is the right click, as well as Bugaboo with the orb, taking out Fuel. Another fight win, just a dry fight win as well, not even having to invest anything, as this Wuyong damage is so high. Woody in trouble, does grab the health pack though. A-okay. Spark, they're fighting very close. I mean, they have this Reaper Sombra comp now, so very little range. Jamba Juice finds Woody in the stealth, and the Kitsune used, but it is kited out for Fuel quite well, as they're now going to use this grab aggressively, finds 3, but good nade and a good ice blocks and keep them alive, as well as this Wuyong ult here for Savies. It's going to cause Bugab to fall, who used one defensively. Needs Sabai fell as well. Artemis and Door pick off trades of their own, and this first point already over to Fuel.
And a flawless play, 99-0.
Very good fight. Winning 3 fights in a row there for Fuel. Now they have this Death Blossom online, they have this Kitsune, and they're on their way to an EMP. They will be fighting into a grab and a High Noon, which is the perfect counter to this Kitsune, as we've seen. But again, I mean, if they use this Kitsune correctly, then this High Noon doesn't have much value. Just all it does is force you to walk away, as Woody gonna get spy checked, has to run away. He's gonna be able to survive here. Spark looking for something, wants to find some value with this Death Blossom. And Spy gonna have to take the duel, switching over to the Reaper of the Realm, but Woody just getting caught on a manual hack, instantly falls, as now the grab used for Onk.
But now we can see Ithaca trying to get an engagement in, but they're being held back at the door. They try to rush in, but the exchange are going out. The health on the side of Ithaca with a heal coming out for them gets shredded out. There is a hindrance. Left gets taken out by Bugaboo. The door takes out Sabai. The door takes out Sazi, and Delphi takes out Onk, and they're just shredding, and they just clear out them.
Yeah, I mean, Door, so Artemis there on that fight uses the Kitsune as almost a pseudo transcendence into the grab of Onk. It keeps them alive. One did fall, but it didn't matter, as Door builds up another ult, almost fully laps Onk on the ult percentage. Gets a full ult by the time Onk has got 1, so a very good showing, and just able to clean that up with a great grab, as there's just nothing left in the tank for Ithaca. Bugaboo gets that early pick, as now the Kitsune is used for the side of Jamba Juice, but doesn't find anything left. Finds a pick onto Woody, got a good EMP off in the meantime, which means the rest of Fuel are going to be able to walk in and pick off these last few stragglers of Ithaca. They're running away with this fourth map here. Travasa already going to be up 2-0, both being 100-0 wins. Heading to this third flashpoint now. They have a Tidal Blast and a High Noon. Everybody fighting into a Tidal Blast and a Death Blossom. Ult's advantage definitely for Fuel here, because they'll also likely build up this grab very soon, as well as Artemis having quite a lead on this Kitsune rush. Fuel left does pick off Artemis in the meantime in a dry fight. Is very big for your Cassidy here. They're going to walk into point.
You can see here, like, the engagement. Woody does manage to get the hack off, but Fuel is already on the point. They're trying to defend it, and they're holding it. They push them off. Left, however, manages to take out Little Spark. The door gets taken out. Woody takes out Left. C point, the third point, is being contested. It's 2-1 with Ithaca, and Ithaca is now holding it, but Fuel's already there trying to attack it.
A very hot, heavily overinvested fight, I think, for Fuel there. As soon as like your members fall, especially as soon as Door falls, I think you should just end up giving it. So I'm just see why Bugaboo decided to invest the Tidal Blast there. It means you're down on ult now. You do have this Kitsune rush here, but Jamba Juice is kind of caught up. Death Blossom hasn't found too much value. Grabs are even as well. And Sabai has one themselves. Grab early, though, from Door. He's just going to force the Tidal Blast out from their Wuyong Savies. Now, Little Spark does not find anything here. Silver bullet from left, gonna go wide, but he's already picked off Spark, and you pick off Bugaboo. Door does pick off, does get the trade. I don't know if it's enough. However, you do have a fully charged Zarya, but Ankh wins the Zarya duel. Woody has not been able to find too much value in these dry picks with the Sombra. The EMP, though, will be able to likely maybe win the next fight, as they will do have one more fight here on this point. They'll have to get a touch, though. Probably going to be on Woody to do so, as they have this Kitsune rush, but they're fighting into 4 ultimates. Manual hack on the Savies.
And as the exchanges go out, Fuel making their way towards this point. They do not have a lot of time. Someone needs to put a foot on this point right now if they want to get it, and they do at the last possible second, and now the engagement goes out. But Java Juice managed to take out Woody. The rest of the team is holding their own, though.
Woody EMP Jax. Woody died using EMP, which means the fight is going to be won for Fuel here, or for Ithaca here, rather, and they're going to be able to take the first flashpoint on their own. Uses EMP at 1 HP, does not get it off. Oh, it didn't going out, actually.
It didn't go out. Woody still has
Barely
it.
saved. I saw the EMP animation come out, but I guess just barely able, not too much, so it's not too bad for Fuel.
Maybe
You
there's
have
a bright
this,
side.
you have this EMP, you have this Tidal Blast, you have a Tidal Blast advantage here. You'll have this grab advantage as well, so seeing to build this grab, build this Tidal Blast up, as well as get a good value from this EMP. You can want to split these up into 2 fights. Preferably the EMP wins the fight alone. We'll see, though. So he has to find some big value with this EMP, as Door, struggling to fight in, has a large deficit here into Ankh. EMP comes out, catches 4 members of Ithaca. Does get traded out, but the rest of Fuel should be able to walk over members of Ithaca. Just the 2 backliners left alive with Jamba Juice and left. We'll be able to get alive. Spark chasing deep, picks off Jamba Juice on that stagger. And again, they only invest the EMP. Crucial from Woody there. Getting a 4-man. I mean, those are EMPs is where Woody's been shining on this map, on New Queens as well.
They really become a thorn in the enemy's side.
God. We'll see now as Zarya has this grab up. Door found so much value with these grabs, especially when they grab advantage. But both teams have a Tidal Blast, so both Zaryas will be a-okay. Early grab usage, a good cleanse though, but Door finds 1, Spark finds 1, Tidal Blast is invested late, and it just doesn't find any value. Jamba Juice finds the trade onto Woody, and it's not enough.
Bugaboo managed to take out Ankh, though.
Yeah, I mean, you get 1 trade for Ithaca here, but now it's 63%. You're going to be fighting into a Death Blossom, a Kitsune, and a Tidal Blast. You only have a Kitsune and a High Noon. You're going to get this grab soon, but it's not immediate, and they have to get this touch. One of the members of Ithaca has to be on point, as they're going to be coming from this middle area, from this high ground. So you're going to be peppered from these triple orbs. It's going to use early, but Spark, a pseudo dive here, going to use the Wraith form with the orb. It knocks down the Cassidy.
And the Death Blossom goes out. It finds the Cassidy, finds Swabby, but Swabby and Ankh take out 2. The Door manages to take out Swabby. And it's just an overtime point. It's all down to Woody and the Door. The Door takes it, and the overtime thing bleeds, and we are on to Game 5.
We're on to Map 5 indeed. A very dominant showing there for Fuel. I mean, Woody getting the Sombra, Door having a fantastic showing on the Zarya. In that last fight, really what ended up happening, I mean, Bugaboo throws the Tidal Blast onto Little Spark, who then Wraith forms in to walk back to stop the High Noon from going off, and then Death Blossoms the Cassidy, takes 1 member out of the fight instantly, takes an ult out of the fight, ends up investing 2, but Door there to clean up the plays. Map 5 here. It's going to be hybrid, so we'll see what they decide to pick. I believe options Eichenwald and Hollywood are the 2 I remember. Fuel, not a big Eichenwald fan, so I'm expecting maybe a ban on that. They're gonna head to Hollywood instead, but we'll have to see. Map 5 on the way. Don't go anywhere.
Close my eyes, it's not a dream. Close my eyes, it's not a dream. Money got me like
From game 1 to game 5, we are here. It is the final map. It is Kings Row. The game mode is hybrid.
Indeed it is. As we're on Kings Row, you're never going to be shocked to see, a little bit of a Reinhardt. Classic Overwatch 1 thing was you always did a Rein Ditto on this map.
Yes.
Now, not so much, but because Rein's kind of fallen out of the meta, but has slowly started to come back in, as we see some of the pros been playing it, especially more over towards Rhea. But here you will see a quick pullout, but as the Junker Queen is going to be the selection, see how they can match this. Sombra Reaper sticking to fairly similar comps, but the Lucio is now on the table for Ithaca, so they can use this comp they did first map with and just kind of run over Fuel. So interesting to see how they're going to be able to adapt to this, as Hardboard Reinhardt looking for something here.
And already with the engagement, they're pushing through. Woody getting the health pack, trying to get into the back line, gets a hack off, and is just shredding in with a little bit of health, but does get taken out by Sabai. But however, the door managed to trade out to Sabai as well.
We're in trouble though. It's going to
Nope. Yeah, he is.
barely be able to kept alive, as that excess healing from Artemis and Bugaboo going to keep him alive. Almost went a little too aggressive trying to look for that charge, but it was a 1-for-1 trade, which is in the favor of Fuel here as they are on the attack. They have a quicker respawn, especially with Woody, but now left has this high noon, so we'll have to kite out as TP Bomb looks to be the play here for Sabai, looking for something. Kitsune used aggressively though for Fuel, as well as the Tidal Blast, so they want to play quickly, but they don't find anything except for Onk finally getting traded in the end, as the rest of Ithaca
they're dying.
slowly going to start to be pulled apart and torn to shreds, as Fuel going to get this first point cap in just a little bit in around a little bit over about a minute and a half. So quite a good first point attack there. Roughly 2 fights overall, so good start of the map for them. Now they did have to invest 2 ultimates for this. They have a Shatter online. They'll have a Death Blossom soon. Woody looking for this. Shatter is used, knocks down 1, which means the Tidal Blast is used the cleanse used to keep them alive, as now they use the Kitsune Rush to try to push themselves back over this corner. Now, they don't have anything to continuously push through this choke point. The Fuel can kind of just hold here, or playing so aggressive because they have the health bar, has that shield, can do whatever they want, but does get pulled in here, gets axe swung, but just doesn't care, knows they have the healing pumping into them this entire time, and the shield is going to be able to keep them alive.
The door could care less.
The Rhine just is unkillable, it feels. Just does not care. Charging in, charging out. Woody in the backline now has this EMP, but does get traded out by Jamba Juice, so DPS of Fuel going a little too aggressive. They don't have the health bars the door does, but they do get around this first corner. The second corner is kind of the main stopping point outside of that first choke on this second point, so we'll see if they can get through it. There is a Reaper on the flank for Ithaca. Seems like Spark may have read this, though. Now behind a Reaper duel, but I don't really want too much. As the Shatter came out for Door and Main in the meantime, and tears through the health bar of Jamba Juice, but does get traded out by Onk as a great Rampage is used. The rest
EMP
of Fuel
went
are
out.
able to clear. Yeah, EMP. I thought it was going to be over as the Rampage was used for Onk, but instead the EMP for Woody, the fight-winning ultimate that it's always been. I mean, it used to be, for a while, single best ultimate in the game, arguably still.
So does that basically makes Woody the walking nuke of Fuel Esports?
Kinda, yeah. Once that ult is up, you know, that's the fight win, right? You press that button. If you hit more than 3 members, like you hit members correctly, and your team's able to follow up on it, then you can completely shred the entire enemy team as they just take so much damage.
Onk swap into the Reinhardt. We got a Reinhardt versus Reinhardt fight.
A little bit of a Ryan Ditto here as Fuel going to use that early Kitsune. Does get charged out.
Oh!
Onk gets caught by Door on the charge. Tried to charge backwards, but just gets Ryan gapped as Spark looks for a Death Blossom, finds 2. Fuel, they stomped past second point. They're now stomping through third. No signs of stopping. The breaks, just don't have any.
No, there's no breaks on this. They are going full force into this. The Door just turning Reinhardt into a WWE match, and it is just hectic.
The Weyoung just curving these orbs around this high ground means Subai has to be forced off of the position they wanted to be on. Tsune used for Jamba Juice, but Fuel, they can fight this out easily.
Yeah.
It was way, way too early used. So all of Fuel are going to be able to survive this. The Mauga switch here for Onk now, but trying to just, win these close duels, winning these long extended fights. Subai has this Death Blossom, but you're fighting. No ultimates on the side of Fuel, but this Shatter's going to get built quick side of Dork. But instead, a great drop down Death Blossom. Just slightly too late on the cleanse there was Artemis, which means the rest of Fuel is going to fall. The first fight, it feels like they've finally been stopped. But Woody's still stuck in the back line.
Let them cook. Let them cook. Got something going on.
Needs their team to get back here, but it is a good angle nonetheless. But it seems to be spy checked out. Savies kind of reads this. Does get hacked up, but body blocked as well as the cleanse coming out for Jamba Juice to keep them alive. But he's still here. Another manual hack onto Jamba Juice. And if they can get this trade, it's crucial. Barely doesn't get it as the healing for Savies is there. The left falls on the Sojourn switch.
And
or picks up everyone now stuck in a corner.
Oh no,
with
Malga.
The Malga. But I think the Malga's the one stuck in the corner with Door. You will cap third point of Kings Row with 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. A fantastic attack half. The team is ecstatic. We saw them standing up, high-fiving each other. Door's not in the room, but I'm sure he'd be getting a standing ovation after that one.
Oh, 100%. That was a maddening play and is a really good step for Fuel Esports. Ithaca needs to play flawless.
Flawless indeed. They cannot be stopped. Again, remember, second point basically had 0 fights. First point had 2 fights. Third point had 2 fights, like total, or like 2 fight. Overall, in a full map, Ithaca won 2 total fights. You just have to do better than that on your attack. You cannot.
Yeah, good.
If Fuel wins 3 fights, then it could just be over on the spot. And Ithaca does call a timeout here, so a little bit of a tactical pause, trying to figure out if they can figure out some sort of idea cooked. But Fuel, I don't care. They're laughing. Absolute Cinema's hit. They are juggling. I mean, you saw Key behind them just chuckling.
Yeah, they're having a whirlwind of a time in the fuel station right now, and for good reason. They're in Ithaca's head. They wouldn't have called a timeout if they weren't afraid.
They would not have called a timeout for sure. But I mean, you kind of have to be when you get a full cap on Kings Row with such dominance it's worrying. I mean, you have to find something. Like, we're coming out of this pause now. What is Ithaca going to end up cooking up? They just haven't really found 1 minute of their times. Total pause has been used. They have some more still in the bank, but see if they end up using that or not, or if they're just going to go out swinging.
Well, we get to find out. If you were Ithaca, what would you try to do?
You have to figure out some answer for the Reinhardt, obviously. I think you have to, as well, just kind of getting run over on all fronts. You were getting
Just a
outpaced.
bit, yeah.
You're getting outpaced on ultimate usage. You were getting outpaced. The Kitsune uses from Jamba Juices, especially, I was not a fan. I did not love. I think you should stick to the Lucio. I think you're going to have more value on it than you are the Wuyong. You were the team that was succeeding with the Lucio, not really the team succeeding with the Wuyong Kiri. So
They're bringing
think-
the Ariza for a tank.
yeah, just stops the Rhine. Can't charge. You can't really push forward as the Risa kind of bullies you forward, has a stronger point presence, as well as the Mei switch for Sabai. So this is a full counter pick into door.
But Woody's also playing a Mei.
Yeah, I mean, Woody, second specialization, it's going to have more a value on this defense than the Sombra. I mean, the Sombra, outside of the EMPs, kind of just got stopped a lot, right? Didn't find much value on those side picks. Almost picked up Jamba Juice in that last fight, but still, outside of those EMPs, wasn't finding too much. Just going to switch over to the Mei. It's a great Mei map. I mean, so many chokes you can just wall off, especially this first one, as Thor just looking for these fire strikes, looking to clean something up. But a
Mega blocked.
good wall to stop the charge from Door. But instead, it looks like Onk might be the one in trouble as Mei wall for Woody. It's gonna cause a lot of damage. Left trades out Woody, but Door trades out left. Now Door stuck in a corner with Onk. Not really where you want to be. Is going to survive because of the shield. Spark here on the side, just shooting this giant body that is Onk, but is going to fall to Sabai as Duel back foot here. Yarissa paying dividends. A great spear into a one-shot on Artemis there means it's just Bugaboo and Door left alive on this point. Woody comes back quick, though, on the Sombra, but the Javelin spin means they won't be able to get too much damage. Is going to fall.
But it might be enough for them to at least get a point. You can see, oh, you're right. Charge just got stopped in its tracks.
Rissa Fortify stops you from getting CC'd, so you could just sit there in front of the Reinhardt, stop the charge in, stop the charge out, and just kind of put him in a corner. Now Fuel on point A for Ithaca. They won one fight, then lost the point. Fuel, they have not won one fight yet, but Door does get an early pick onto left, as well as Onk. Cleanse having to be invested. The Suzu from Jamba Juice, they have an advantage on their Kitsune rush, but very slight. Tank advantage as well for Onk. The biggest advantage is the fact that this Mei Blizzard is up, as well as the Tidal Blast up for Bugaboo, so we'll see if this can have any value. Kitsune used aggressively for Ithaca. It's going to be responded by Artemis, as well as a Tidal Blast. It just forces out an Ice Block. Cleanse used. Can they find anything here? Duel fighting out one-to-one trades, but Artemis finds another. The Shatter comes in, but it won't find too much value outside of forcing another Ice Block. As War might be in trouble. Instead, just getting pumped full of healing. You still actually have this Kitsune. I thought it was used, but it wasn't used in response. Kitsune versus beat push. Let's see what wins. Aggressive beat used.
And you can also see, like, the exchanges. It's just a slow push. I'm like, walling off. Okay, that's great, but the problem is you're also isolating yourself. The left manages to take out two. Jamba Juice takes out one. Woody takes out left, but Suarez takes out Little Spark. And that was a trade-off going all well into Ithaca's favor.
Yeah, definitely in favor of Ithaca there for sure. You do get one trade for Woody, so the touch can be a little bit better. Trying to find Woody here, especially on C, but Thor just not been able to find as much value on this Rhine on this point, so on this time side so far as much as they were on attack. As Ithaca just keeps kind of rolling this cart forward. They lose one fight. Now, a good hack, trying to fight out left, does win. And that was an overclock invested for left as well. An ultimate was used. The Blizzard on point from Savai did not find anything.
EMP!
EMP is used, finds 4. Woody did fall, but I think it's enough as Thor just wants to find anyone with his charge. He's going to eventually be taken down, but the late trades coming in for the side of Fuel as Ithaca have to walk back. TMP with their last dying breath. Woody finds 4 and wins the fight. Onk gets late traded, which means this next point, and Fuel, they can hold here so easily. This is one of the points, this is the spot on this map where you kind of get stopped a lot. So I think here,
to see Ithaca break through. They're going to have to use multiple ultimates, and they only have a Kitsune to do so. Left over to the Genji to try to get some backline access here. But you have a Kitsune soon for Artemis. You have this Tidal Blast. You have a Shatter. You have a Death Blossom.
It's looking very well that this is favoring into Fuel. The Death Blossom does go up by Little Spark. Little Spark finds one. The door manages to take out Ankh. Goes in, finds two, taking out Sabai. And this is just another assault winning for the side of Fuel.
And again, it's just a situation of Ithaca. They use this Kitsune to engage, which then opens up the door for Fuel to fight in, right? Door finds the Shatter onto Ankh, who did not get stopped. Did not end up getting the Fortify off, so gets stunned and then charged to one-shot. Now switch over to the Ramatra, able to hit through these shields more so Door can't sit as easily, and is probably the better rush tank. But we'll see if it's a value. It's another switch. Hack comes out, just forces the Suzu, forces the cleanse. But Woody can go on another hack turn here. He's going to look for Jambadus, finds Jambadus, does not hit the virus, and is just going to have to TP out here, likely to get spy checked. He's going to somehow get out, but left did find Door. Tank of Fuel falling. Spark in the back line now, playing defensively. This Ramatra can just keep walking forward, pushing, punching. He's eventually going to fall to the Tidal Blast. The trades are in the favor of Ithaca. 2-3 match here as Door not here on the touch, so they're going to have to concede more points. They'll have another fight, though, easily on this second point. Ithaca struggling here.
And all they have to do is hold. They just need to get a point now. But the Lucio coming in on the side for Savez might be beneficial. You've got Beat Drop, you have Blizzard, and you have Genji's Blade ready to go.
The problem with using these aggressive beats, as they're going to use here, is that now you're open for an EMP turn on the next play. The beat does come in, it picks off two as well as a Beat Blade. Now left, cleaning it up. They're going to get this point capped, which means they'll have more time on the bank. It'll end up being roughly around 2 or 3 minutes, I believe. As clean fight, two ults invested, 220. Clean fights, team fight there, but 2 ults invested. Gonna have this Rampage, or this Annihilation, as well as this Kitsune and this Blizzard here. Fighting into an EMP, though, and a Shatter. Artemis, though, getting a little bit outpaced on these Kitsunes. As Woody finds Sabai on the back. Does get Shatter out for Door, but Door falls in the meantime to Ankh, punches through those shields. I think you might have to switch off of the Rhine here if you're Door. Getting counterpicked by this Ramatra. Kitsune was used for Jambadus, but again, it doesn't really find much value outside of just clearing off the point. Picks off Spark in the end, though, as the Annihilation is forced for Ankh. And they're just going to be able to keep on punching through these shields. They're marching their way forward. Cap in their sights. One more point, one more fight here. It's going to be a touch. They have 3 ultimates. What is the play here? The Rhine just not paying dividends. Switching over to the ball for the touch. May, the ultimate used. Kitsune used for Artemis. The EMP comes out, finds 3. Fuel able to stabilize here, but it's an expensive fight. And they need to make sure not to give up any trades or else it would be dangerous. 1 minute left. 1 minute left on the clock. Woody looking for a manual hack here. Wanted the Lucio, but instead finds the Ramatra. Going to get detected, but able to get out safely. Ramatra holding that right-click block, but is going to fall to the shotguns of Little Spark. 1 minute left on the clock. 2 ultimates for the side of Fuel, but no more EMP. But you're fighting into basically a dry fight for Ithaca. You have a Blade, but you have nothing to support the Blade except for like a Suzu.
Yeah, and it's just not looking well. There needs to be divine intervention and a Hail Mary play from Ithaca. They want to do anything. But the clock is ticking, and the more that time goes, even if they cap it, they're going to be at a time disadvantage.
Tidal Blast onto the Reinhardt. Ankh gonna get charged up, taken down, but left with the Blade in the back line. Picks off Bugaboo. Spark and Door going to pick off the back line of Ithaca. 20 seconds left. It's desperation touch time for Ithaca to keep their hopes of taking the series alive, to taking us to OT. They switch to the Venture, to the ball. It's quick touches. Savies, I think, is going to be
ball time.
Ball to me first touch. You do have the beat for recontest here. But other than that, you're on 4 touch heroes. You don't have the sustained fight. You might get a Kitsune in time. No ults for the side of Fuel. Kitsune is close as well. Beat does come out. Don't find anything on the ball. Looks to be just getting taken out. Does get another round of the adaptive shields. Lives. Jambadus picks off Little Spark. As, see, Or just swinging freely in this room. But Woody picks off Jambadus in the back line. A 3-man shatter here for the side of Door is going to seal the fate of Ithaca, send them home. Fuel taking this series 3-2. A very close, a very hard-fought match from both teams, but Fuel comes out on top, and they are ecstatic.
Oh, you can see they are jumping out of their seats. That was a hard-fought victory for Fuel Esports.
I think off that first map, right? They recognized there may have been some problems, right? Just a communication thing, right? It's pretty hard. The tank's not feeling up to it 100%, right? You switch out, you switch into your. You have a second DPS. You switch Door in to play tank, who has shown to be a bit of a multi-role specialist at this point. Can play every role to a quite high degree. So with that, Fuel, they take that 3-2. They take themselves to the 3-2 club in the standings now, as Ithaca is going to fall to 3-3.
That was a maddening game, and honestly, like, Ithaca made Fuel work for that.
They did indeed. It was back and forth, a couple stomps here and there, right? I think Flashpoint and Control were the big 2 stomps, but the other 3 maps were back and forth. But I don't know about you, but I want to talk to one of the players.
Oh, 100%.
Hear their insights about that game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with that.
And we are back after an insane 5-match game with Bugaboo. So first off, just how did it feel on your end? Because that was insane.
Well, my heart's beating a little. It's
You have a pulse?
yeah, it was very intense. It was very intense.
Yeah. I'll ask also a general question first. I want to know what was the vibe switch when you guys make those role swaps from map 1 and map 2? Because map 1, be honest, a stomp, right? I
Yeah,
think
no,
we can all
we
agree.
were kinda
You
getting
guys,
bodied
you
in
guys,
that one.
change it up. You bring in Woody. You move Door over to the tank. I'm wondering, like, the vibes. Did they catch back up? Was there, like, I know Scummy's not feeling great, but how do you think that
Yeah,
change
there was
affected?
the internet connection too. Scummy was
Oh.
it was rough. Scummy was having problems,
Oh,
like
no.
completely unrelated to him.
Oh.
Nothing he could do about it. So then but that was a big switch, and it also helps because Door's pool lends to dive really well too. So now we have Woody on, we've got Door on, and we're just running full dive next map, which is really nice for us because we're all comfortable on those characters.
Sure.
So now, like, with this win heading into, like, a higher standing, how is it going to kind of build the team's morale going into the next series of games?
I mean, it's a lot nicer because like we would have had to do like 2 wins in a row. So now we have a little more breathing room, which is really nice. And just overall, it's like, hell yeah, another win. We all won. We're all good. We can do this.
Of course, right? And then as far as you're concerned, I think so far, I'd say this season you've found yourself as a bit of a Wu Young player for sure.
Yeah.
But when the Wu
He's
Young's
just
banned,
broken.
I'm interested, like, how do you feel your play is in the meta right now? Because I know you're usually wanting to play the Brig, but I think Brig, outside of those on a dive comps, is a little bit struggle. I'm curious, how do you think you've been adapting so far?
Yeah, Brig's been a struggle. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at Brig, so sometimes we brute force it a little. But Wu Young is just so much better, and I've been working on like other characters on my own to try and make up for that too. Like I think you've seen me on some games. I've played Kiri, or
Yeah.
I've played like some other character. I've made swaps
Yeah,
every
for
now
sure.
and then. So I'm experimenting with things, but Brig, I'm still like really comfortable with Brig. I'm used to Brig.
Yeah. And when you're playing those
Yeah.
Winsta on Brig comps, those are the classics, right?
hmm
I don't really have any further questions personally. I think overall, just great game. It was a very hard-fought victory and well-deserved.
hmm
Do
Thank you.
I think I'd just say, do you think you have anything, you as a team have anything to work on after this game specifically, or you think just keep on doing what you've been doing?
It's always the same factors. Just like keep working on communicating, and just working as a team.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Bugaboo. First, let's take a look at the rest of the streams for this upcoming week. We got a special edition Sunday stream,
Woohoo!
League of Legends. Yay!
Yippee!
Monday, likely going to be some Valorant. Tuesday, Rocket League. Maybe?
Tuesday, could
It
be
could be.
Rocket
It's a
League?
lot of things.
It could be plenty.
Wednesday we'll see some COD. Thursday could be Rocket League, could be League, could be a lot of things as
Could
well.
be CS too.
Could be CS, and then Friday probably going to be the Overwatch team again. So stay tuned for all those matches. Make sure you follow all of our socials, Fanshawe Fuel everywhere on all platforms. Keep up to date with all of our teams, all of our streams, all of our events we're hosting. Want to sign us out, Dragon?
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. Happy Halloween. I've been Donna Dragon.
I've been Robert Newt.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye bye.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom.